comfortable for me. Let the room grow softer around you. And before I begin tonight's story, if you already like this little quiet corner we share, you can leave a soft little like and subscribe so you can find your way back here on nights when sleep feels far away. Now, let your shoulders loosen, let your breathing slow down, because tonight I want to take you to a house with warm windows, a house that seems to appear only when the evening has been a little too long and the mind has been a little too full. It stands at the end of a lane no one mentions in daylight, not because it is hidden exactly, but because it belongs to a quieter hour, the kind of hour when the street's empty, when the last shop turns off its sign, when the rain has stopped but the stones still shine, and all the town seems to exhale at once. I think you would notice that lane, especially on a night when you have nowhere urgent to be, and no wish to carry the day 1 minute longer. So, I want you to imagine that you are walking slowly through a sleeping neighborhood, past low garden walls, past little gates painted in pale green and blue, past windows glowing gold behind lace curtains, and somewhere in the distance a clock is striking softly, not to hurry anyone, only to remind the night of its own shape. You turn one corner, then another, and there at the end of a narrow lane lined with ivy and rain-dark stone, you see it, a small house with 3 warm windows, all of them lit, all of them gentle, all of them seeming to say the same quiet thing. Come in, you are expected. The house is not large, not grand, only lovely in the way some places are lovely when they have been cared for over many years. There is climbing jasmine near the door, and a lantern hanging above the step, and on the brass plate beneath the knocker are the words, "House for late evenings, tea always warm." I know, it sounds like the beginning of a dream, but stay with me, because the sweetest places often do. You lift your hand to knock, and before your knuckles touch the wood, the door opens. Standing there is a woman with silver hair pinned loosely at the back of her neck. She wears a soft brown cardigan, and her face holds the kind of calm that makes you feel quieter just by looking at it. She smiles, not a surprised smile, not even a curious one, only the smile of someone who has been listening for footsteps. "There you are," she says. "You took your time tonight, and somehow, instead of feeling strange, those words feel like belonging." She steps aside, and you enter. Inside the house it smells of cinnamon, orange peel, old books, and a fire that has been burning low and steady for hours. The hallway is narrow, with polished wood floors, small framed paintings, and a row row of hooks where raincoats sleep in silence. From somewhere farther in, you hear the gentle clink of a teacup against a saucer, and the faint turning of pages. There is a sitting room at the back with a fireplace, a striped armchair near the window, a lamp with a cream shade, and shelves so full of books they seem almost to lean toward one another for warmth. On the little table beside the chair, there is already a cup waiting, steam lifting from it in soft white ribbons. "Sit, dear," the woman says. "You look as though your thoughts have been walking faster than the rest of you." So you sit, because the chair is deep and the fire is low and golden, and because it is exhausting to be understood that quickly. She places a small plate of shortbread beside the cup, then lowers herself into the chair opposite yours. For a while, she does not speak, only lets the room hold you. The flames shift. The rainwater outside slides softly from the leaves. A little clock on the mantel ticks in the gentlest possible way. Finally, she says, "Most people think they need a solution when they are tired, but often what they really need is a room." Those words settle over you like a blanket. You take a sip of the tea. It tastes of chamomile, honey, and something floral and sleepy, the kind of tea that seems to lower every sharp edge in the body. Your eyes wander toward the bookshelf, and there, between two old novels and a vase of dried lavender, you notice a row of little folded cards tied with ribbon, each one labeled in careful handwriting, for the ones who cannot switch off, for hearts that have been carrying too much, for nights when rest feels undeserved, for people learning softness. The woman follows your gaze. "Those were left by visitors," she says. "People who came here late and left lighter. Would you like to hear one?" You nod. She reaches for the card tied in pale blue ribbon, unties it, and reads, "I came to this house because I had forgotten that warmth could be simple. I thought comfort had to be dramatic to matter, but it was only firelight and tea and a woman who did not ask me to explain myself. And somehow that was enough. Maybe enough is a very holy kind of thing." When she finishes, she folds the card again and places it back exactly where it belonged. Then she looks at you with the softest expression. "Enough is more powerful than people realize," she says. "Outside, the lane is still. Inside, the house glows around you. The fire sighs. The little clock keeps on with its tender ticking, and for the first time all evening, you are not trying to catch up with anything. You are stands and opens a narrow door beside the hearth. Behind it is a tiny room under the stairs with a daybed, a quilt sewn from faded rose and cream fabric, a shelf of quiet books, and a lamp that makes the whole room look like the inside of a lantern. Some people rest here a little before they leave, she says, just until their thoughts stop standing at attention. You smile at that because it is exactly the right description. You lie down for a while, the quilt warm over you, the fire nearby, the house wrapped all around you like patience, and slowly, very slowly, something inside you unwinds, not in a dramatic way, not all at once, only enough to breathe deeper, enough to unclench, enough to believe that rest is not something you must earn by breaking first. When at last you stand to go, the woman walks you back to the front door. Before opening it, she places a small object in your hand, a brass window key, old and cool and shining softly in the lantern light. For the evenings that feel airless, she says, so you remember that gentle things can still open. You step out into the lane, the night cool and silver around you, and when you turn once to look back, the 3 warm